Hello, I'm Mayor Rick Goldring. Last night at Burlington City Council on March 18th, Council approved the 2013 operating budget for the city, along with the resulting tax rate increase. We approved a 3.46% increase plus 1% for the hospital. When you break it all down, it's 4.46%, and when you include the region and you include the education piece, the average is 2.07%. With regard to what we did with Burlington and the Burlington budget, some of the key things that are included in the budget this year are this. An increase in 1.25% of the tax rate increase is strictly for infrastructure, for our buildings, for our roads, for our parks, to make sure that they're maintained in good working order for many generations to come. We also approved additional funding for the hospital, as I mentioned, another $1.2 million into a reserve fund, so that at the end of this year we'll have over $12.5 million towards the $60 million that we committed on behalf of the taxpayers of the city. We also approved an increase in funding for the library and the community center for Alton, which will open later this year. We've been planning for this for some time, and it will open this year, and it's going to be a wonderful addition to North Burlington. It's going to be a wonderful addition to Burlington, period, with the 4 double gyms that are there, along with the parks across the street. It's a wonderful campus that will be opening later on this year in Alton. In addition, we approved some transit improvements in 4 different areas of the city. We also approved increased funding for the Burlington Economic Development Corporation to help increase our tax base on the non-residential side and create more jobs for more Burlington residents, to give them the opportunity to not only live here but work here as well. We approved some one-time funding for the Burlington Performing Arts Center to hire 2 new staff people for 2-year contracts, as well as additional funding for the Burlington Arts Center to help them review their business model and come forward to council in the fall and give us a review with their plans going forward. I can't emphasize the importance of arts and culture in a community like ours as we try to attract new people and new businesses to our community. Arts and culture are significant contributors to vibrant neighborhoods and prosperity. When I look at the 2013 budget, I believe it's very important for us to measure progress, not perfection. I go back to 2011, where we approved a 0.9% tax rate increase. In 2012, we approved a 2.29% tax rate increase plus 1% for the hospital. When we include 2011, 2012, and 2013, the average overall increase, excluding the hospital, for the City of Burlington portion is 2.2%. And I suggest that's a very, very good average for this term. I do want to thank staff for the tremendous amount of work and their guidance in coming up with this particular budget for this year. I do want to thank council for our great discussion that we've had. I also want to thank the many, many people from the community that I've heard from and council have heard from, as far as giving us great input and consideration for this particular budget. The 2013 budget is a continuation of the meaningful investment of enhancement of the great quality of life we have in Burlington. And once again, thanks to everybody for all their input on the budget.